if this game ends up going the distance here, simply because... Welcome to Overgrowth, ladies and gentlemen, for the first time today. And we have the blue Terran player who's currently one game up, spawning in the bottom left-hand position. Representing Team Liquid.net, if he wins this game, he goes to match point. It's Liquid Bunny. His opponent spawns in the top right position as the yellow Zerg player, defending his title as the King of the Hill with 4 wins so far and trying to extend it to 5. $375 if he can. If he can't, the bounty gets awarded to his opponent. It's mYinsanity's Petraeus. So some incredibly tense games and very, very tense moments so far between these two guys. Bunny, on paper, looks like he might be slightly favored to take this, but so was Major last week, and Petraeus has handled this very well. He's twice been ahead in this series, don't forget. Needs to win this now to square it back up at 3-all, using the drone to scout early on here to make sure he's not being 11-11'd. Or something like that, and indeed, of course, we can see he is not. Bunny is building the barracks and following it up with the refinery inside his own base. So we will almost certainly be seeing some sort of Reaper-based opening come out of our Terran opponent here. And now we can see the hatchery go down at the natural expansion before any sort of pool or gas gets taken here, just to show you guys back inside the main base. And we are going to be transitioning into what I guess can be called a relatively normal mid-game. If you have a couple of seconds at the start of this game as well, you're waiting for things to unfold, the first Reaper to go out, make sure you go ahead and check out these players on Twitter as well, Liquid_Bunny and myi Petraeus. Go ahead and follow them, give them a tweet, and let them know you're really enjoying this particular series. It's been a thriller so far. I hope you guys will agree with me. And yeah, it's I'm really glad as well. We conveniently timed so that we weren't clashing with any of the other StarCraft matches that were going on. So you guys get a fantastic fun-filled day of StarCraft entertainment. I hope you guys have been watching some of the other games as well. They've been incredibly exciting, and I can't wait to see the conclusions of the other events such as the Intel Extreme Masters throughout the rest of this weekend. Reaper now going to be going straight into the main base, by the way. Hasn't bothered to see the creep, but he knows that natural expansion is more than likely to be down. He wants to get a maximum amount of time before a queen pops out. And a couple of workers will be forced to make buildings here. That one is getting very close to death, being forced to make themselves into a spore crawler. Are we going to see a second one here? It looks like it. No. Are we going to see that second spore crawler? He's constantly dancing around. And yes, we are. There's a second spore crawler. Will eventually get cancelled. There we go. Doing a pretty good job so far, just forced to be... Wow, 6 links so far. This Reaper's going to be pretty happy that this got forced. The Queen is now out, but the 2 Reapers are going to continue to try and pick up as many Zerglings as they can. Just the one going down so far. Baiting the Queens off of creep is a good strategy as well, but needs to be careful that he doesn't sacrifice too much health on these guys. Just the one Reaper attacking means it's going to take a while before those combat drugs kick in as well, and he's not able to heal up quite as effectively. We're going, by the way, once again with the 3rd command center and the factory approach. Very, very solid coming out of here from Bunny. He's been that way all series long, and he's not afraid to say, I am happy to not change this up, keep my approach the same. And this Queen is actually getting reasonably low. It's at just under 50% hit points right now. There is no energy for a transfuse on the second one as well, so he really does have to be very, very careful indeed. And now 3 Reapers there are. And suddenly I'm speaking like Yoda for no apparent reason. I'm not really sure why. This Queen, very, very low on hit points. Needs to be careful. The Reaper's coming in for possibly a little bit more of a poke around. I'd like to see them try and pick off the Queen. But it looks like they're going to be going home at this time. Double Hellion production now coming out for Bunny. And once again, not a single Marine was built that day. And this Overlord isn't going to be hanging around too much longer to chance it. But knows exactly what the opening was. It will be expecting the Reaper Hellion follow-up. And it looks like behind this we're going to be going for a stim, potential stim timing as well. So here come the Reaper and Hellions moving out towards the natural expansion. Is he going to try and force a cancel of the 3rd, which just went down, I wonder? I don't know. Ooh, with these Hellions, actually, those Zerglings are significantly more toast than usual. And the queens now are just getting hammered very, very strongly. There's still no transfuse available, by the way, so potentially a problem. And now, this army, now that the queens are at low enough health that they know they can't afford to just run by off of creep, he's going to go ahead and try and force the cancel out this third. We need a lot of Zerglings here to support. There's a third queen in support. Oh dear, and see, that's what we were talking about, getting them caught off guard off of creep. One of the queens goes down. A second one is at about half health as well, so he could try and do that. Great micro to pull that back. A second queen is about to go down. Yep, no transfuses available. Really well played there by Bunny. He doesn't force the cancel at the third base though, so keep that in mind. In the meantime, a couple of Zerglings just trying to be a little annoying in the natural expansion. Only one worker killed so far this game, and it was actually Bunny killing the worker as well. So no damage being done by Petraeus so far. Bunny currently 3-2 up. If he wins this, he only has to win one of the remaining 3 games to be crowned King of the Hill. Very frustrating position for the defending player to play in. And, oh man, we have Hellbats incoming as well. We've already lost a couple of queens this game. Baneling's going off on the lead. Reaper by the looks of things. And drones being transferred, getting caught up in the crossfire just a little bit. Zerglings, not the ideal defense. More and more Hellions going to be transformed into Hellbats, I suspect, in just a moment coming in. Do we have more units streaming across the map? We don't. So it looks like Bunny is going to be keeping the rest of these forces in reserve, and this is just a pressure force. The game will not end here, ladies and gents. 4 queens now. Although the one with the transfuse... Oh, there we go. Being used on another queen. Able to keep all 4 of those alive, and Petraeus will stay alive. He's at 58 workers to 44 right now. Still ahead in supply. 77 to 61. And I think, actually, these Hellbats don't really have any backup right now, so... I actually think Petraeus is just fine, but that did look hairy for quite a while there. Here comes the macro explosion coming out of Bunny here, by the way. We have a lot of barracks incoming. He is going to be taking his third base as well in this Overlord. We'll get to see that. But very, very shortly, he's going to want, possibly with 1-1 and Combat Shield, to do another push up to the north side of the map. And I wonder... if when Petraeus sees this third base, he might be thinking about going for a 4th of his own if he can start spreading his creep a little bit more effectively. Hellions thinking about moving in once more. We see the Overlords will be able to spot them from a mile away. And 5 Hellions versus 4 Queens is a fight that definitely favors the 4 Queens. So Bunny is going to be moving out at this stage. And there is the 4th base. Oh, no, he's actually not going to be taking it. Interesting. I thought Petraeus might be trying to grab that there, but the drone is going to be pulled back to the 3rd base mineral line. Let's keep an eye on whether he turns that around once more. Maybe thinking it's a little bit too risky with these Hellions on the field right now, wanting to get his creep spread a little bit further forward. You can see there are 3 creep troopers over here, wanting to spread them over to the left-hand side, and Bunny wanting to deny that right now. Killing off the debris in what is generally regarded by Protosses as the Valley of Death, because if anyone walks in here and you have Colossi up here, you go ha 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 and absolutely destroy them. And it looks like the 4th base is in fact going to get taken in the top right location. So it was a change of mind from Petraeus. He's saying, right, that's where the Hellions are chilling out. Fine. I'm going to go ahead and take an alternate location instead. He's still spreading his creep that way, which I like. And these Hellions are preventing the creep spread all the way to the gold base. But in the meantime, I don't believe Bunny has seen that this base is being taken. So continuing to mass his forces up on the left-hand side here. A decent contingent of Marines. A lot of upgrades coming in for our Zerg play. And Petraeus kind of being caught in the middle of upgrading everything right now. The Spire's half done. Baneling's Speed's half done. +1 attack is, well, it's about half done. +2 armor is just started. He really wants another minute and a half to sort of consolidate these upgrades and get his forces together. And if Bunny attacks right now, I'm not sure he'll afford Petraeus the luxury of that time. He's just got temporarily supply block. He's on 129 supply to the 145 of Bunny, whose macro is absolutely off the charts. Is he going to be able to use his supply advantage, though, to push his opponent back and maybe win the game here? Petraeus now going with a massive lot of Zerglings, potentially sneaking into the natural expansion. And maybe buying himself a little bit more time as the 4th base does go up. He's moving in. Oh, the depot isn't raised. It's not raised. He's going straight into the main base. No one's noticed yet. And here we go. Here comes the attack. Everything is getting attacked now. And Bunny's going to have to pull back. Or is he? A lot of army inside the main mineral line. Ooh, an excellent Widow Mine hit, actually, possibly saving him there. The 4th base is being under attack as well. This is like a boxing match. Both sides absolutely slugging it out. The natural expansion has been completely, utterly ravaged, ladies and gentlemen. Bunny has to win with this attack now, I feel. The 4th base is down, though, and he's got a sizable amount of forces, but he didn't split against the Banelings, and a lot of these forces have gone down. He's down to 104 supply versus 126. There are still a lot of Zerglings here in the natural expansion. They finally get cleaned up. It's 72 drones versus 24 SCVs. Now, the last time this happened, Bunny ended up winning the game. He ended up winning because he was able to consistently defend the advances of Petraeus, and Petraeus wasn't teching up. But in this position, guys, it's slightly different. There are 12 Mutalisks in production. Petraeus isn't going non-stop Zergling Baneling. He is going to be evolving his army composition very drastically over the course of the next couple of minutes. And here comes a massive fight. If he gets good Baneling hits, it could be completely over here. But excellent splits from Bunny means that he has got a sizable force to defend against it. His army supply is actually quite a lot bigger at the moment, 71 to 51. He's moving out through the middle of the map, but his opponent still has more than double his worker supply. And here come the mutas for Petraeus. So he might be able to use these for additional harassment, but really, I think he should be using these to kill off the Medivacs like he did a couple of games ago. Economically, Bunny is hurting right now, but this army might be able to do so much damage. Petraeus needs this base not to fall. He needs to hold on to it at all costs. Is he going to be able to do it? Here come mutas as well, in addition to the Banelings. He's scoping out. He sees that the Marauders are at the front of the army. He's deliberately not detonating the Banelings. Excellent pre-splits coming out here from our Terran player. More Banelings coming out, though, and he's going to force his player to constantly split his Marines so that the Mutalisks can try and pick things off. Moving into round 2 of this attack, we're going to see panic mode very shortly. 30 Zerglings on the way for Petraeus. Bunny holding strong, but the army's starting to get whittled down now. It's a handful of Marines and a Medivac. He manages to keep the Medivac alive, but the Marines do get pushed back. It's not going to be enough to actually take out this base, and Bunny is pushed back on 91 supply versus 134. The worker supply, guys, is 70 to 26. I've already said this once this series, it's difficult to see how Terran's going to be able to win from here, but Bunny proved me wrong in the previous game. Is he going to be able to do it twice in a row and get onto match point? 2 Spine Crawlers being produced at the 4th base, the newly built 4th base, nice and shiny. You don't want to have the paint scratched on your new car, ladies and gents, and that's why Petraeus is moving all the way over here. He's saying absolutely not. We are going to destroy this force here. It doesn't matter how many Medivacs, how many Marines you have with this army. Will it, though? Because the Medivac's actually right under the nose of the Mutalisks right now. 2 of them going down, a 3rd one on very low health. And that's going to mean a lot of problems for the longevity of this attack. Sure, Bunny's going to be able to push ahead with this fire, but there are only 2 Medivacs here. He needs to be careful not to overextend. Another 28 Zerglings and more Mutalisks on the way. Is he going to be sacking this 4th base again? Yes, he is. So he will at least get the hatchery. Bunny is constantly streaming forces, and he's at 114 supply versus 135. He still has a bigger army supply. He's on 2-2. So is Petraeus, though. And the worker supply is still 72 versus 34. How Bunny is able to do this is just amazing. Baneling's getting some decent connections against the Marines once again. Bunny down to 106 now versus 130. This 3rd base is up in mining. So's this 3rd base. And actually, Bunny now has got his natural expansion back. Is he really going to be coming back in this game? Economically, he can't possibly be that far behind anymore. Minerals, okay, he's 200 or 300 minerals a minute behind, and it's really gas where he's lagging, but he is slowly crawling back into this, and Petraeus has constantly been on the defensive while Bunny is rebuilding. If Bunny wins this game, it'll be thoroughly deserved. Oh, a couple of Baneling hits against the 3rd actually might make a huge difference. Workers killed 57, and that resets Bunny's worker count to 26. Not for the first time in this game. Excellent stealthy hit there from Petraeus. We have a couple more Zerglings over here on the right we want to keep an eye on. And 2 borrowed Banelings. Forcing his opponent to use scans when his work is down, coming across the middle of the map could actually be great here. These Mutalisks, are they going to make the difference? Or is Bunny once again going to come back in this game? He's down to 72 supply now. I'm not sure he can do it twice in a row. Look at how many Mutalisks are on the field. We're up to 18 and counting now. The Medivacs cannot survive. Only 1 left in this game, and I think we've combined the relentless pushing after taking out the base with the Banelings hitting, with the Mutalisks staying alive. Victory for mYinsanity's Petraeus in game number 6 means that going into the final map before the fresh set of vetoes, the score is completely tied up 3-3.